Have you ever felt like you're on the verge of something incredible but can't quite put your finger on it? Maybe you've been praying, waiting, and trusting, but the breakthrough hasn't arrived yet. Here's the truth. God's blessings often come after a season of preparation, faith, and perseverance. And when you're close to receiving His abundant blessings, there are signs that can confirm you're standing at the edge of something extraordinary. Today, we're going to uncover 7 signs that you're close to receiving abundant blessings from God. By the end of this, you'll feel encouraged, inspired, and ready to embrace the blessings God has in store for you. The Bible is full of stories of people who stood at the threshold of God's blessings. From Abraham waiting for his promised son to Joseph, enduring years of trials before becoming a ruler, their stories remind us that blessings often come after seasons of waiting and refinement. If you've been praying and trusting God, it's important to recognize the signs that His blessings are on the way. These signs don't just serve as encouragement, they also prepare your heart to receive His goodness with faith and gratitude. Let's explore these 7 signs together and discover how they reveal God's hand at work in your life. One of the clearest signs that you're close to receiving abundant blessings is when you face intense spiritual opposition. The enemy often attacks the hardest when you're on the brink of a breakthrough because he knows the impact God's blessings will have on your life and others. Consider Job, who faced incredible trials right before God restored everything he had lost and more. The enemy tried to break him, but Job's faith remained strong, and God blessed him abundantly in the end. If you're feeling overwhelmed by challenges, take heart. The opposition you're facing is often a sign that something extraordinary is just around the corner. God often stretches us before He blesses us. This stretching process refines our character, deepens our faith, and prepares us to handle the blessings He's about to pour into our lives. Think about David, who was anointed as king but spent years on the run from Saul before stepping into his destiny. During that time, David's faith, leadership, and dependence on God were strengthened, preparing him for the throne. If you feel like God is pushing you beyond your limits, it's because He's enlarging your capacity to receive and steward His blessings. When you're close to receiving abundant blessings, you'll often feel a heightened desire to draw closer to God. This is because blessings flow from relationship, and God uses this time to deepen your connection with Him. In Luke 18, Jesus told the parable of the persistent widow to show the importance of not giving up in prayer. Her persistence paid off, and it's a reminder that God hears our prayers and rewards those who diligently seek Him. If you find yourself praying more fervently or feeling a stronger pull to spend time with God, it's a sign that He's preparing your heart to receive His blessings. Sometimes, receiving God's blessings requires us to release what's holding us back. This could be a relationship, a habit, a mindset, or even a dream that isn't aligned with His will. Abraham experienced this when God asked him to sacrifice Isaac. It was a test of Abraham's trust, and when he obeyed, God provided a ram as a substitute and reaffirmed His promise of abundant blessings. If you feel God prompting you to let go of something, it's because He's making room for something greater. Before God brings abundant blessings, He often gives us glimpses of His provision through smaller breakthroughs. These moments serve as reminders that He is at work and that His promises are being fulfilled step by step. Think about Elijah on Mount Carmel. Before the heavy rain came, he saw a small cloud rising from the sea. That small sign was confirmation that God's blessing was on the way. If you're seeing small victories or progress, no matter how insignificant they may seem, celebrate them as signs that God's abundant blessings are near. When you're close to receiving God's blessings, you'll often feel a renewed sense of hope and expectation, even if your circumstances haven't changed yet. This hope is a gift from the Holy Spirit, reminding you that God's promises are true and that he is faithful to fulfill them. Romans 15:13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." If your spirit feels lighter, or you find yourself believing again after a season of doubt, it's a sign that God is about to move in your life. Finally, one of the most powerful signs that you're close to receiving abundant blessings is when God calls you to take a step of faith. This step often feels risky, but it's a demonstration of your trust in him. Peter experienced this when Jesus called him to step out of the boat and walk on water. It was a moment of faith that led to an incredible experience of God's power. If you feel God prompting you to act, whether it's pursuing a new opportunity, making a bold decision, or stepping into the unknown, it's a sign that he's positioning you to receive his blessings. If you're seeing these signs in your life, take heart. God's abundant blessings are closer than you think. The opposition, the stretching, the increased desire to seek him, and even the call to let go are all part of his process of preparing you for what's ahead. Remember, God's timing is perfect, and his plans for your life are good. Trust him in the waiting, stay faithful in the process, and step boldly into the opportunities he places before you. The blessings he has in store are greater than anything you could ask or imagine. Your breakthrough is coming. Keep praying, keep trusting, and keep walking in faith, knowing that the God who began a good work in you will carry it to completion. You are closer than you realize to stepping into the fullness of his promises.